Shanegotyou11, and with me as always is Trey.
Hey guys, how's it going? I apologize, my phone did a notification sound that was pretty loud, but no, I appreciate you guys coming in. This is another episode of the West Coast Madden podcast. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. This intro, I'm not gonna take too much time. I'm gonna try to get into it. So earlier today, I did a simulation on my YouTube channel of the simulation game of the Thursday night football game between the Buccaneers and the Panthers, and I also plan to do it next week too. When I did it this week, I kind of started a little bit late prior to the podcast starting because my time management skills need some work. It's not really a strong suit that I have, and I need to improve on it. But I do plan on doing it next week and starting it a little bit before the podcast so that people can come in. And I think it's going to be a good idea because there could be some cool things we could do within it. So drop by and then watch the simulation. And then once you watch the simulation, you'll be able to tune into the podcast. And then after the podcast, it's kickoff for the Thursday night game. So it's a little bit of pre-game football, Madden talk going into the Thursday night game. It is currently, in this game, Cam Newton had a pretty big game. He had about 2 touchdowns. They were up 24-6 at halftime, and it is currently 23-45, the Panthers, with Tampa Bay driving. So the Panthers are most likely going to win in this simulation. But Shane, who do you have winning this Thursday night game? I know that we talked about it, but just so that the viewers know, who do you have winning this?
I got Carolina winning and covering the spread. I think they win by 10. I got Carolina handling business at home, definitely in their home opener. I got them going and beating Tampa Bay by 10, covering the spread, so put the money down on that.
All right, and then one more thing for the intro. We did have the week 1 of the Monday Night Football game picks. Shane, if you would, maybe put the standings in the chat so that way if people come in, then they'll know who's winning. But for week 1, we have, hold on here, we have Sports Network YouTube. He is currently 2-0 in the week 1, and Brett, our other contestant, is 2-1. So that's the standings going into the second week for the 1 million coin giveaway. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated about who's currently winning in that scenario.
I'll definitely post that out.
Yeah, so we're talking about week 1. There has definitely been some storylines going into this week, most notably Antonio Brown going to the Patriots. It's pretty crazy. I think that, well, first of all, I think it's kind of ridiculous how when he signs with New England and then all of a sudden, mysteriously, all these allegations start to come up when he gets signed to the Patriots. I think it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, when Deflategate happened, the owners were all colliding to get on Brady, and I think that it's ridiculous. But Shane, what's your whole take on the Antonio Brown signing with New England? If you have any opinion on that.
You know that I'm not a New England fan. I mean, you are. I'm not throwing you under the bus, but I'm being non-biased here. Antonio Brown had this set up from the get-go to get out of Oakland to go to New England. I think people are they work a little shady deals. I think that New England and Antonio Brown had talked, and I think last year he wanted to get traded from Pittsburgh to New England, and he was told by people in the offseason that if he acted a fool, he'd probably be released and be able to be signed wherever he wants. Patriots are a winning organization. They have a great coach. They have a great QB. About the allegations, I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, if I was a celebrity, male or female, I definitely would start having, like, cameras everywhere. like in my hotel room or anything. Be like, hey, you gonna come in my room? I'm letting you know that the video's rolling. Because anybody can say anything. There's been a lot of rape allegations, male or female, or abuse or anything, and people usually listen to the allegation but then never really care about the follow-up, and then they already have an opinion. I don't know, man. I don't know anything about Antonio Brown's real life. I mean, I watch him for entertainment, so I don't know much about that, but I do think that New England and Antonio Brown had a ploy to get him there this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of agree with you on that realm of it. It's just the allegations that came up after he got signed. And I think that the owners are just, they don't want to see Antonio Brown play because New England already looks scary as it is. They put up 33 points against the Steelers. And it kind of got ugly. And I've never been a fan of any NFL owners. I think that because they are rich and they feel like they can buy a team, but I don't feel like none of them know football. I mean, that would be like if I was rich and I decided to buy a hospital and I started to tell the doctors, okay, this is how you guys are going to perform surgeries, you know. So that's my kind of my 2 cents on the whole thing. Definitely interesting, but I mean, I'm a Patriots fan, so obviously we took care of business, and Shane's a Seattle fan. Shane, how did you like your team performing in Week 1 and they got the dub? So what's your consensus on that game?
Okay, I think a lot of people overreact on everything. Everything's an overreaction. That's why ESPN has Overreaction Monday. And for me, Seattle stayed in a vanilla defense. I think they kind of overlooked Cincinnati. If you want to be honest, I thought that they thought they could handle Cincinnati. The offensive line will push around Cincinnati's line. They'd control the game. They'd send coverage and just play base defense, and Andy Dalton would turn it over. Instead, the game turned out to be really, really close. It became a one-point game. You know, people that think Seattle was going to go to the Super Bowl or be really good, they, you know, melted down. But, like, to me, it's one game. Seattle never gets really good until, like, October, November. That's when they start hitting steam. So, you know, I mean, like, this weekend, I predict a loss for Seattle and Pittsburgh. And then the whole Seahawk fandom will melt down. That's just my opinion. I know New England look damn good, though, bro. I know you're happy about that. I know they look damn good.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of scary. I mean, I've heard people say that this is kind of reminiscent of the 2007 team, you know, but I almost feel like the defense is kind of better than the one in 2007, and that's what's really scary. I mean, I think it's too soon to say that this could be another 16-0 start, but I mean, I feel like it can be. And I don't think Antonio Brown's going to be Randy Moss. I don't think you're going to have another repeat of that where you get Randy Moss and Tom Brady together and they absolutely shatter the record books. I just think that he has a all-around balanced receiver core and a good running back. I mean, Sony Michel and James White are both better, in my opinion, than Lawrence Maroney in that 2007 run. So it's definitely pretty scary, but moving forward, we did have a patch. I thought it was pretty funny because I was like, I feel like every time we do a podcast, there's at least one patch, but this one didn't come up until the very last minute. Shane has a video on his channel if you want more details. It was a relatively small patch, but basically it was just tuning updates, and they didn't really do anything much about the gameplay, but they have Mutt down, which is kind of crazy. But Shane, you know what is I mean, it's kind of too early to tell, but I guess what's your general feeling about this patch so far?
To be honest, I haven't been able to play it. I haven't played a money game, and Mutt is down, so I don't know in general how it'll play. But for all I could tell, is that it was very small. I mean, I didn't see anything like super like big into it. I mean, I went into bigger detail on the video. You guys can check the link. It's in the podcast chat right now, or you can click on my video on my channel. But it just seems like they're really focused on making stability and connection issues better, which is a good thing. I don't know. I don't know why they're putting out patches so much this year. I actually feel like there's more patches now this year than last year. Last year I felt that there was like 3 or 4 big ones. And I feel like, I'm not sure, Trey, but I think we have 5 or 6 this year, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, it sounds about right. I mean, 5 or 6. I mean, that's pretty close. I mean, that's a ballpark estimate. But yeah, it's been quite a few.
Okay, so here, I'm going to throw this out right now, you guys. I know a lot of people are fantasy players, or fantasy players, do the games and all that stuff, and try to make money off of it. Here is the guy that you guys need to pick up. Trey, I don't know if you do it, but here's the guy you need to pick up is Gardner Minshew. I'm telling you guys right now, he plays for Jacksonville. He's a QB. He's going to take over for Foles until at least week 11. He went 22 for 25 for, I believe, 250 yards against Kansas City with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. I'm telling you guys right now, pick him up if you don't have a good QB. He will surprise you. I watched him a lot. He's fresh out of WSU. I'm telling you guys to pick him up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy because WSU is well, I mean it's local for Shane and I both because we're both from the Northwest, that kind of area, but it's very close to me because again I live about 30 minutes away. So yeah, that's pretty exciting news right there. So, but moving on, we did have the team of the week. This is the first team of the week promo that they did for Mutt. The big news is Lamar Jackson. I will pull up his card on Mutthead really quick so that I can give you guys an idea of what this card is looking like. So on the auction house, he's going for about $330K right now. He has 90 speed. They didn't really, I mean, his throwing accuracy isn't really that good. He has 85 throw power. Which for a mobile quarterback, usually they give them a lot of throw power. 85 isn't really that bad though. 88 throw on the run, and 82 mid accuracy, 82 deep accuracy. It's pretty. I don't believe he has any X factors on him. But I would imagine that, and I apologize because I don't really follow them up, but I imagine that you can build X factors on them.
Yes, you can. You can put X factors on that. A lot of people, what they do is put the escapability X factor on him or Michael Vick. They come out in that power offense where everybody's on the line, and then they spam the run with Lamar or Michael Vick because they have good escapability. They're fast. And then they put like 1 or 2 top wide receivers on the line and try to burn you once you bring everybody in. What I will say right now, and I'm going to say, I don't know if you know this or I don't even know if we talked about it last week. So if I did, I apologize. But Trey, have you noticed that you can hold down the speed burst button and the cover up button and run as fast as this year? Did I bring that up last week?
Yeah, you brought that up. Maybe not last week, but the week before. We were kind of, I mean, it's kind of a faint memory because I don't know if we were talking about that and we were in party chat or we talked about it on the podcast. But yes, that's a thing you can do. You can hold the ball, but you can also run, which, you know, in my opinion, it's obviously kind of a ridiculous thing. I feel like if you're gonna protect the ball, then you should be able to run as fast. You know, your speed should decrease significantly. So.
Oh, no, I totally agree with that. And the reason why I wanted to bring that back up, and I didn't remember if I talked about it before or not, but it was because I ran into a couple lurk accounts, you know, the brand new PSNs. They're not friends with anybody, but they're really good, and all of a sudden in the top 100. The reason why I'm saying that is like, so I was playing a guy who used Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson. He covered up the ball. That's cool. But then he can speed burst just as fast. And then if I hit him with a 89 Patrick Willis, his stick was I think an 85 for a Patrick Willis. He doesn't really fumble because he's covering up the ball. So like Trey said, I definitely think that they need to make you lose speed like they did last year. If you're gonna just spam R1 and speed burst and not lose speed, the game's broken on that part. They need to fix it.
Yeah, they definitely need to fix it. So yeah, you do have Lamar Jackson. And I didn't know this prior, but I'm looking at Mudhead right now. Lamar Jackson isn't actually the most expensive or like the premier team of the league player, but you do have Sammy Watkins, and he is currently, according to Mudhead, going for 120K. So I mean, like, for a card to be worth that much this early in the season is pretty crazy. His card actually he has some pretty sick card art, I must say. 45 cap, 99, 89 speed, 85 acceleration, 89 catching, 86 catching traffic. Yo, this card, for the beginning of MUT, this card is going to be a glitch.
Yo, do me a favor, bro. Look up Gale Sayers, because I don't want to be wrong on this, but I think there is a 91 or a 90 Gale Sayers, the running back for Chicago back in the day. I believe his speed's like a 91 or 91 and like 91 acceleration or something like that. I want you to look that up because I saw it going for, I believe, 2 million coins on the auction list.
Yeah, I just looked him up, and apparently he's going for $500,000, so 500K right now on the PS4.
What one is that though?
It's a legend. It's the 91.
What's his speed?
Legend.
Was I off on that?
He has 90 speed according to this.
Okay, that's weird because on the auction list, I know that it was like a couple million, so I don't know if people were lying when they first got it. And maybe it dropped once more people got it. I was trying to check on Ultimate Team on the PS4 right now, but the Ultimate Team's still down.
Yeah, so I'm using Mudhead. Shout out to Mudhead. I believe you can download it on iPhone and Android. And if you have that, then you're able to check. I think you could even, like, if you link your PSN account, you can even bet on cards, like, when you're not on your consoles. That's a pretty cool thing. So shout out to Mudhead, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to check the Team of the Week promos. So we have Lamar Jackson, a few other people. We have C.J. Mosley for the Jets, Bradley Chubb, who's a linebacker, Dalvin Cook, and then it kind of goes down from there. Quite a bit of 80 overalls. Deshaun Shedd for the Seahawks, he's an 84, and then for the Patriots, Jacoby Myers, he's an 83. And yeah, so we got Team of the Week promo for the first week. Pretty crazy. I did see gameplay on MMG's channel. He had gameplay with Lamar Jackson. He's honestly glitchy. I'm not a fan of how like, I understand, like, you can put a QB spy, but I just don't like when he's rolling out of the pocket and I have, like, say I have a linebacker in a hard flat or a cornerback in a hard flat, and I hit in on the right stick to send him, and they just take the worst angles possible to stop him. If he's running straight at him, he's gonna miss 90% of the time. So in that case, you're almost forced to put a QB spy or a QB contain on him. So it's a little bit OP in my opinion. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing with, like, Lamar or Michael Vick on MUT, I'm going to go back to MUT because that's where, you know, most of the competitive players are at right now, and a lot of people love MUT more than Regs, which, you know how me and you feel on that. But I think they're a little bit OP. Like, I think that goal line, what, I don't even know what it's called. What is it called? Power, what, I don't know what it is. Power formation?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But I mean, I think that is so broken in real life because if Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick are going to go up the gut, a Patrick Willis in his prime, or a Cam Chancellor in his prime, or a Ken Houston in his prime would kill them with a hit stick. But they just like bounce off or fall down. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit OP. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, you're almost forced to like just try to mollywop them like when they get past the line of scrimmage. I think if you conservative tackle, it's not going to do anything. Like you almost have to just get lucky and hope that you connect on a hit stick and then make them fumble. So
yeah, the best thing. Go ahead.
It's a little bit of annoying, especially like when you see sets like I think it's like Gun Heavy Panther, and like you've seen it at the Classic. It's very annoying to stop because they're able to hold the right stick. If you match up against somebody that kind of knows what they're doing, then it's like very like hard to stop. So go ahead, Shane. Sorry to cut.
Oh no, that's you actually gave out the formation, so I'm glad. That's exactly what they've been. A couple people have been running. It's a little bit fake, but I also just like I think Dime 146 is a little bit fake. Any QB, if you put everybody on the line of scrimmage and blitz, would be able to pick it up. Now, sure, you get sacked a lot on the times, but if you run a power offense, there's no way a big dime should be able to stop an I formation or single back or strong formation.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. So moving on to my next topic, this is going to be kind of a short topic. I just want to shout out the Superstar KO mode. I think it's a pretty cool mode. If you play it, you are able to get an 83 Alvin Kamara, and I think before that 83 Odell Beckham Jr. It's a non-auctionable or tradable card, but I think you should hop in because it's quick, number one, so you don't have to play like full games. And I think if you just like play like it doesn't really take that long for you to acquire them. So shout out to EA to giving people a way to grind and then are able to get cards without doing the solo battles or solo challenges, and overall just making a fun experience for you to get some cards on your MUT team. So that's my quick little topic on that. But moving on, I mean, I feel like this year, if you want to compete, you have to constantly upgrade your team. And I'm not really talking about salary cap per se. I'm talking about like MUT head-to-head unlimited. And it kind of brings up the question is like, do you sometimes think that EA has taken this pay-to-play system with multiple Ultimate Team too far? Like even this year and years past, like, do you believe that they're taking this pay-to-play thing too far?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. I mean, because if you don't spend money or play the game 24/7, and I mean 24/7 if you're not going to spend money, I mean, you better not get any sleep. I'm talking 1 or 2 hours. You better pay for it to be good if you want to be competitive. So yes, they know what they're doing. They're strong-arming everyone. They know what they got to do. That's why they put out new cards every week. They want people to spend more money. You know what I mean? And then what is really bad is at the start of the year it wasn't working, but now all of a sudden with the patches you can have 60s be as good as 80s, and then what that does is what they want you to do is spend money on buying a 91 or a 92 wide receiver, or a QB, or a halfback, or etc. And that costs a lot of money, you know what I mean? And it's random though. You're not guaranteed when you spend $100 that you're going to get the 91 or 92 that you want. So then you might spend $200-300 and get it. But is $200-300 really worth it for hoping for one card? To some people it is, to some people it's not. I read a report. Do you remember, I think we had this on the podcast, Trey, and I'm going to go off a little bit topic here, but you remember when I listed the top 100 Fortnite players, how they were making way more money than any Madden player?
Right.
I think it was on the podcast. I think it was like episode 1 or 2, I believe. Well, EA Madden pulled in 6.9. I think it was billion or million. It might have been million. I think it might have been million. But that so you know how much money that is. They could pay better.
Yeah. Yeah, and the money you can make from Fortnite, like, you don't even have to be the best. You just have to be like in the discussion, and the money you'll make in Fortnite compared to Madden, it's not even comparable, like at all. So.
Yeah, well,
So
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
like,
Yeah, okay, no, it was 6 point. It does say that it was 6.9 billion dollars,
yeah,
and Madden 20 is even more popular than that. So, yeah, I do think that they're trying to take money from people, and you know what? To be honest, most people aren't going to be that good to make the tournament. Like, but I do see people bragging online that they have 99 cards. Not yet, but like last year. But they're nobodies. So they're playing their friends, but they spent $300, $400, $500, $600 for fun, and EA knows that.
yeah, yeah. They know that, and to be honest, I think that that's kind of a rhetorical question, but I kind of forgot why I brought that up, but then I remembered. I feel like every time EA does something that helps, the average person, that it almost, in a way, it's like, okay, we're helping you now, but but it's a reverse psychology to where they're trying to make you play MUT and then spend money because the Superstar KO, which I almost feel like, do you feel like not enough people are playing MUT? So now they have to introduce this game mode to try to get more people into it to spend money.
No,
I
I think I think they're bringing more game modes to
Right.
try to even make more profit. It's kind of like like McDonald's. They brought Monopoly, but then they added a different game. Oh, second chance, come in. You see what I'm saying? So it's more profit.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost feel like, EA's, I feel like their days are almost numbered, at least for Madden. Um, I feel like 2K, 2K, you do have to spend money, but I feel like it's nowhere near to the extent that you do with Madden. So I almost feel like, their days of like ripping off and, trying to charge for everything. I feel like those days are going to come to an end sooner than later. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Um, so we're about, I want to say we're about a good 4 or 5 weeks um, since the game come out. So we gave our first impressions on the gameplay when it did first out, a week in. But since we're a little bit deeper into it, like, how do you still like the game gameplay wise, and what are some of the things that you would like to see patched in the game if there was another patch?
I still overall really enjoy this game. It's still a top 3 game for me. It's the things I would like to see patched is a dime 146. It shouldn't be able to stop even shotgun runs if you have power shotgun where there's a couple tight ends on the line, but they have it where like they slant in, and even if you slide left or slide right, they just ignore it. And so, to me, it's like I wish they would fix the dime 146 on versus shotgun plays and power offense. That stuff I think should be patched.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm in the same way. I generally like the game so far. I think it's pretty fun. I like the game graphically. The gameplay is pretty good. I feel like the running, like I feel like the run game was a lot better. Like first, I'm not sure what they did with it, but I feel like, and in terms of inside runs, my biggest complaint last year was that I felt like you weren't able to get hit holes without being sucked into animations at the line of scrimmage, and I feel like that was better at the start of the year. But no, overall, I like the game where it's at, and hopefully they could continue. We have yet to see a patch. I feel like be that overpowered to where it's like back to Madden 19 or like back to square one like we kind of did last year. So yeah, hopefully we can go, but I'm kind of rocking with this game so far. So with our next topic, with the unpopular opinion, this is kind of, you know, the stable of this podcast so far, but Shane, do you have an unpopular opinion for us this week?
You know, my unpopular opinion is I think the reason why they sell ebooks, and I'm going to say this too, is because then they know what people are running. They know how to stop it. Like, so people that sell their ebooks, they know how to stop the plays. Now, the plays will be 80% of the people, but when it comes to the people that sold the ebooks or their friends that, you know, crew up, they're going to get stopped, just like me. When I used to put out ebooks, I knew how to stop it. So if you ever ran into me and you tried to spam the ebooks after buying it, I'd shut you down. And so my unpopular opinion is why the reason why you don't see random winners as much is A, everybody's in their own little crews now. B, all these people that are randoms for the most part are running the same plays as the pros who made the plays or who found the plays. Not made the plays, but who found the plays. So that's why I think there's not as many random people that have are winning as much, because people copy too much and then they copy what the pros are doing and the pros know how to stop it. So that's my unpopular opinion why I think that there isn't any different winners. But we got about 15 minutes left on this telecast, Trey, so go ahead with your unpopular opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unpopular opinion, I feel like unpopular opinion is kind of good because it doesn't have to even really pertain to Madden. And I feel like it's always going to create a discussion because, like, if you have an opinion where not a lot of people agree on, then you could say it and then it automatically kind of creates that controversy within the chat. So I like that opinion. For this week, though, I don't really have an unpopular opinion set up, so I'm going to go ahead and say that a random unpopular opinion, I feel like Ether by Nas is the greatest diss track in the history of rap, so that's my unpopular.
Shut the front door, bro. Come on, man. It doesn't hold a candle in the wind to freaking hit him up. I almost swore. I apologize. You see where you got me fired up, bro? You can't be doing that, bro. But you did say unpopular opinion. You did say unpopular.
Yeah, it is unpopular opinion, but yeah, just like where I feel like Killshot is kind of up there too. Like, well, maybe not of all time, but as far as like this generation, like within the, you know, the past 20 years, I feel like it's definitely up there.
It is pretty. It is pretty good. I mean, it is very good. Like, I listened to it. You know, I thought it was a good reply to MGK, but you know, I mean, it's hard because it's who you like and who you favor, and like, so it all depends. Like, I don't know, is it top 10 of all time? I don't know. There's a lot of old school tracks, you know what I mean, that are top 10 to me, like No Vaseline by Ice Cube. I mean, even Biggie's Long Kiss Goodnight, as much as I thought it was cowardice what he did, he made it after his enemy died. Still up there, man. Unfortunately for Biggie, you know, he made that song. He went to LA. He rapped it. He died that night. That's the unfortunate for him. Just like with Tupac Hit Him Up. 3 months later, Tupac's dead. Just a lot of things, but I mean, yeah. So Killshot's really good. Ether's pretty good. What was the Ether? Not Ether, whatever. What was the one with Jay-Z that he went back at Nas? Was it Super Ugly? No, that was Nas, right?
It it was the takeover, right, for Jay-Z?
Yes. I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah. And I'm gonna do really quick. I'm gonna shout out to all the people that have been in the chat. We're having a couple people in here and out. So shout out to Thick Danos, Ducky, Headhunters, and a couple others. I appreciate you guys being in here. Like I said, we're here every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So let people know. Come in the chat, talk to us. We got about 5 more minutes. I gotta do something, so I'm cutting it a little bit short. So I apologize, you guys. Tonight I got something to do that I've been notified. What else do you got going for us?
You know, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, the only other topic that I have written down is, on Twitter, I mean, we're not really a drama channel like, how you see with, I know that Giovanni Mama, he kind of does, the drama side of things, but this is kind of more, like technical approach, but I mean, this kind of is relevant because one of the EA developers, from what I heard on Twitter, actually deleted his Twitter so that he can focus better on the gameplay. And he might get a lot of criticism, but I honestly think that it's good because you're not going to be able to please everybody, especially in the Madden community, because we all know that that's how it works. So I just want to say that my respect kind of goes out to him for being able to deal with, the community, because Shane and I know how the Madden community is, and we know, that is kind of tough to deal with. And I feel like, like being on Twitter and having to deal with like the community on Twitter, I feel like that's got to be like one of the hardest jobs like in the community. So like with me sharing that news, I guess briefly, Shane, what's your take on that?
I mean, I agree with everything you said, man. Like the thing mainly for me is you're never gonna make everyone happy, ever.
Yeah.
You just gotta try to make out a good game, and you know what? Like Madden 20 has its pros and cons, yep. But you know what? For the general public, they ate this game up more than any other Madden in the last 3 to 4 years. So to the general public, they believe Madden 20 is the best game since Madden 16. That's all you need to really know. With competitive players, it's going to be hit or miss because it's going to be, what they are good at if the game's good for them. A lot of people like running bunch or used to, and doing a fade streak route from the slot and then a deep out route and a slant. But, I really think I think it's smart what he did. I would give it, especially when you see what everybody writes and complains about. Like, damn, you need a hug? But, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. Trey, anything else to say?
No, not really. I appreciate you guys that have dropped by and the ones that are actually in the chat. It's good to know that we're starting to make waves around the community, and like, whenever we do this podcast, we do have a section to where we'll take questions from the chat. So if you guys want to interact, ask questions, then we will address it.
Yes, you can. Here's what I'm gonna say. Starting from now on, because I kind of messed up in past by saying in the last 10 minutes. If you guys have a question, write it in the chat. We will answer it in the last 10 minutes. So whatever you guys ask questions-wise, I will tell Trey what the questions are. We'll go over it. But you can write it through the whole stream or the whole podcast. And then within the last 10, 15 minutes, if we have questions, we'll bring that up and we'll talk about it. So starting next week, you guys can write questions freely, and we'll go over it at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, and also one more thing before we end it, just in case anybody was wondering, Carolina beat Tampa Bay 48-29 in the simulation.
So there you go. So Carolina better win. I need some money.
Yeah.
Are you good, Trey? You got anything else?
Yeah. No, that's it. I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week. And yeah, peace out.
All right, you guys, thanks for joining the West Coast Madden podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11 like always, and with me was Trey. We will see you next week, September 19th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Till then, you guys stay safe.